Welcome into the Al Roker studio. It is time for season number 20 of Laker Connections, the longest running show on WTOP 10. No, I'm not Jarrett Wakefield. I'm Zach Malamud.
And I'm Ryan Joyce, not season 19 character Thomas Turgeon.
Ryan, we'll keep things as they were in the past and see what happened this week in Lakers sports.
Well, Zach, we're going to start things off with some women's soccer, as the squad had one loss and one tie in the past week, following a loss against Plattsburgh 4-1 Saturday for their first SUNYAC loss of the year in a 2-2 tie against Fredonia on Wednesday. Zach, this is clearly a team who has found success early, but this past week was a little mixed bag for Coach McGrane's squad.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. I mean, 2 winnable games, but they couldn't find a winner in either one of them. 9 shots against Plattsburgh and then 10 on target against Fredonia. I mean, Abby Zimkowiak, she was unbelievable for Fredonia in net. Was standing on her head in this one. 8 saves for the Blue Devils in this one. The Lakers just could not find a way to get by her. A team that led up 7 to Cortland 1 week ago, Fredonia. This is not a result that the Lakers will be really proud of.
Yeah, and in that Fredonia game, in game 2, 2-2 tie, Soraya had a great game herself. She had a goal in that one. Jackie Marquardt had a great one too. Great pass there from Laura Miller, finding her in that one too as well. And they started a little slow. It was a little bit of a physical game, a couple, timeouts there, injury timeouts. It gets really physical here in SUNYAC women's soccer. And Katie Seller, great in this game too as well, 2 goals for themselves as well. And Oswego had this one, but the last 5 minutes just got away from them.
Yeah, and the Lakers, their one problem is they got goals in the end, but in the Plattsburgh game, they just could not find one. A lot of chances, a lot of opportunities for the Lakers. Really couldn't get one in the back of the net. It really hurt them in the end, and Plattsburgh made them pay. When it came to the Fredonia game, they went up in the game. They had a lead. They just could not hold on to it, and as the season goes on, they're going to have to try and fix that.
And, yeah, this is a team that kind of starts slow in most games, and that's where they find themselves 4-2 and 4. But a lot of those games shouldn't be a tie. It should be ones they should be win outright.
Yeah, no doubt, Ryan. The Oswego State men's soccer team grabbed a huge 1-1 tie against their rival Plattsburgh State Cardinals. Plattsburgh on their home field had won 9 of the last 10 meetings against Oswego. Then yesterday, the Lakers traveled to Fredonia and couldn't get by them either, with it finishing 2-2 in the end. The Lakers had a lead at one point in both of these matches. A huge result for the Lakers in Platte, Ryan, but they can't seem to hold on to a lead right now.
No, and I mean, for Oswego, it's just been tough to get those ties. So far this season, 5 ties for them as well. A lot of games they really should be winning. Borgioli's been great so far this season. 2 goals allowed in the Fredonia game and 1 in the Plattsburgh game. But for himself, he had 6 saves in this one, double what the Fredonia one had. And Plattsburgh in that game outshot Oswego in the first half, and they played really good against undefeated Platte. Kind of a step-up game for Oswego as well, who so far this season hasn't had the most success against the top teams.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. A great result against Plattsburgh. All of that work done defensively, though, and they get a goal, and the defense then falls asleep. Lets one up 30 seconds later. Goals coming a minute or 2 after the Lakers are able to find a breakthrough that's really hurting them right now. But credit to Kieran Gilroy. 3 goals and an assist in his last 3 games, really stepping up for the Lakers on offense right now. The Lakers need him to really stay hot. There's a lot of tough matchups coming up on the schedule. If he can put balls in the back of the net, it lets a lot of steam off of the defense and doesn't put too much pressure on them in the end.
Talk about he's been the guy all year. He's been one of the guys, go-to guys. 4 shots on goal in the Fredonia game, 1 goal, 1 assist for Gilroy, and 2 shots that came from the left side in that game as well. And Oswego thought they had that one, but another one kind of like that women's soccer game, last minute, goal goes in.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan.
The Lakers field hockey team has found themselves with a slow start to the season. The squad's been slumping with a 2-0 loss to Dukes Pulse Saturday to keep a 3-game losing streak going. But the Lakers flip it around and got a win Tuesday against Keuka 5-1. For their 4th win of the year, this team finds themselves stuck in the middle of SUNYAC with a lot of senior leaders and are looking to get a win streak going.
Yeah, Ryan, it's right now for the field hockey team, a big win on the road against Keuka. They put a ton of goals in, 5-1 victory for them. The one problem is they can't keep that up consistently right now. Maybe putting goals in against Keuka will boost the confidence of this team, but I think that's the problem. 5 shutout losses. Like I said before, it's been a struggle to score goals. 5 shutout losses so far this season. Kate McNally has 27 shots that's more than double the next best Laker. She's really putting in a lot of production, but the production from behind McNally will be huge for the Lakers as they get into the conference schedule right now.
Yeah, I mean, as a team who has a lot of senior leaders, it was kind of a tale of two stories in both games. New Paltz, very good team, second in the conference. Oswego's kind of struggled with them past couple of years. Ellie Kazel and Kate McNally in that game, only 2 to get shot on goal. I think what's been lacking so far this season is getting shots on goal for this field hockey team. And, another thing, they started off pretty slow and not getting the amount of shots and really good shots to win games.
Yeah, and just trying to find where a goal can come from. Obviously, shutout losses are not going to really help them and boost the confidence of them. There's a couple of really tough matches coming up for the Lakers, and they're really going to try and figure things out. Like I said, the production behind McNally really needs to step up. Somebody out of the dark really needs to step up for the Lakers, and that will probably help them as the season moves on. We'll stop right there for this week in Lakers sports, but this show is just getting started. When we come back, we'll check out where the Lakers are going in the week ahead. Don't go anywhere. This is Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Back to Laker Connections, your source for Laker sports right here on WTOP 10. Well, Zach, we have talked about the past week in Laker sports. Now let's paddle to the week ahead and talk about what is upcoming for Laker sports.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, let's start off with the volleyball team. Oswego have 2 SUNYAC matchups on the road this weekend against Plattsburgh and Potsdam. The Lakers are 0-1 in conference this season, while both Plattsburgh and Potsdam come in at 0-2. Plattsburgh are 3-0 on their home floor this season, but Oswego could be on the brink of a bounce back, Ryan.
Hey, I mean, big win for Oswego past couple of games the past weekend. Oswego and Platt still winless in their conference. Platt's slight around that 500 mark. I think Karis and Pussio has been great this year, 75 kills. Trefiller has been great as a grad, 298 attacks already in the season. That's great that they got her back. I mean, Oswego 7-3 in their last 10 against Plattsburgh. I mean, as a team, you want to find a team that's been struggling so far this season. You want to play a team you've had great success against. And for this Oswego, it's a great opportunity to, you're 7 games back from 500 now, but get a couple wins here and keep it going.
Yeah, 100%, Ryan. Best chance, really, for the Lakers right now to start a run in the SUNYAC. The 2 teams really struggling in Plattsburgh and Potsdam, and Oswego has enough talent and experience that they can really sweep the weekend easily. I think looking at the Lakers, they're 7-3 in their last 10 against Plattsburgh. They're 9-1 in their last 10 against Potsdam. 2 teams that they've beaten easily in the past. They really could definitely take the weekend in a sweep, I think, and they really need their big hitters to step up right now. Obviously, they lost some big pieces from last year's team, but like I said, they have enough experience that could really figure things out and a couple of different people can really step up for them.
I mean, a team that has a lot of senior leaders has been great all year. For Oswego, I mean, you mentioned 7-3 in the last 10 against Platte. This is a team who had a really tough beginning of the year, has not won a home game so far this season, and a team who, you have a lot of that senior leadership. I mentioned Kaylee Troy. Schifriller was great that they got her back. There's a lot of games left here, Zach. There's a chance for Oswego to kind of turn it around with their senior leaders.
Yeah, a lot of time left for them.
Are looking to turn the season around on the weekend where the team travels to North County playing SUNY Plattsburgh Friday and SUNY Plattsburgh on Saturday. Both teams Oswego has had previous success against, but is it enough to keep their season back on track?
Yeah, Ryan, the women's soccer team right now, a huge test on the weekend against Oneonta. I mean, they need to be rock solid defensively in this game to get a result in this one. It has not been easy recently against Oneonta for Oswego. Oneonta, though, they're winless in their last 3. Oswego could really take advantage of it. In those 3 games, Oneonta outscored 4-2 against a couple of different SUNYAC opponents. They're a little open defensively right now. It should give the Lakers a little bit of confidence to really find a goal. They've found a couple of goals in the last couple of games, 2 against Fredonia the other day. And, I mean, heading into this Oneonta game, they definitely could put some balls in the back of the net.
And this is definitely a game for Oswego to figure out and get a win here. Oneonta, in terms of standings, pretty similar to Oswego, kind of a similar team. The last 2 games are really close. 1-0 loss last year and a tie in 2021. So a team who they played really close against. And Oswego, a team who's going to have a lot of trouble. Brianna Meehan, who's second in the conference in save percentage, 89% save percentage. So for Oswego, it's going to be about getting a lot of shots off against a really good goaltender there for Oneonta.
Yeah, and Oneonta, you mentioned a lot of goals not let up. I mean, it's definitely helping them advance their record. 4 wins on the season. I believe it's 4-2-4 right now on the season, the Red Dragons are. And right next to the Lakers in the SUNYAC standings right now. Obviously, you look at Oswego and the goals need to come at big moments for them. I think the goals can come for the Lakers. The question is, can they hold on to it and really figure things out defensively and help the Lakers really hold on to a lead? The Oswego State men's soccer team have a huge SUNYAC test at Laker Turf when the Oneonta Red Dragons come to town. The Red Dragons' only losses of the season came in their last 2 games, against Brockport and Cortland. The Lakers come into this matchup at 2-3-5 overall and 1-1-2 in conference. The Lakers need a result on their home field on Saturday, Ryan.
And it's going to be a tough one for Oswego. Oneonta has been a powerhouse soccer school for a very long time, prestigious school. Oswego has really struggled, hasn't got a win there in over 25 years. And Kieran Gilroy, we mentioned him earlier, he's going to have success in this one. Last year, he had a goal in that one and the 1 goal Oswego got. And Oneonta, number 4 team, they're coming off 2 losses right now. And for Oswego, they got to kind of pounce on that. Oneonta, who is an undefeated team, 1.44 goals per game. They only allow less than 1 goal a game, too, as well. And on the Oswego end, Oswego's allowing that 1 goal, and goals allowed not is great, too, either. But for Oneonta, Ali Somau is going to be tough for Oswego to guard. 4 goals in the season so far. And for Oswego, they're having a good year so far. Not the best, not the worst, but they got to keep going here and try to get a win.
Yeah, Ryan, for the Lakers, it's arguably their biggest test of the season right now. A rivalry game against a team that dominated them for the last decade. I mentioned the inconsistent defense a little while ago for Oswego. Really need to figure things out. Oswego will really need to create chances in this game. Oneonta does not let up a lot of goals. A really strong team in the SUNYAC right now. Oswego, if they can put balls in the back of the net through guys like Kieran Gilroy, Kyle Genrich has been pretty strong the last couple of games. They could definitely figure things out. The goals have been a problem. Like I said, 0.9 the goals per game right now when Oneonta is putting balls in the back of the net very easily.
And that'll do it. But coming up next, we get ready for hockey season with Wheelhouse Wire right here on WTOP 10.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
Welcome back to Laker Connections. And as the weather starts to get colder, we get even closer to hockey in the Deb. It is now time for the fan favorite Wheelhouse Wire.
Let's get into it, Ryan. We're now just over a week away from preseason puck drop for the Oswego State men's hockey program against King's College. Head coach Ed Gosick lost a big chunk of his leadership group with all 3 captains from last year out the door. With a large group of returners, the Lakers add 5 Ontario natives, with 2 of them coming from D1 programs. With 2 forwards, 2 defensemen, and a rock-solid netminder coming in, Ryan, the Lakers have a really strong group looking to get back to the SUNYAC championship.
And yeah, what a great class for Coach Gosick getting them back. Some names to step out. Brock Kulicki played last year in AJHL, a familiar recruiting ground for Coach Gosick. Gets a lot of guys from that area. Travis Barker, 3 teams in AJHL last year. And then, a D1 transfer from Holy Cross, Jonathan Bala on defense. Before that, played 3 years in OJHL. So a lot of guys who were playing in some really big, conferences beforehand.
Yeah, you mentioned Cam Simons, top of the list, 42 points in 54 games in the BCHL last season. A great playmaker that the Lakers had on offense. Another forward is Brock Kulicki, 28 goals in 52 games in the AJHL last season. Another pure goal scorer, really helping out the Lakers on the offensive side. They add guys on the back end as well. Jonathan Bala, 17 games played for D1 Holy Cross, a 6-foot, 183-pound defenseman. A lot of the Lakers defensemen right now have a lot of size. These 2 guys that they're bringing in Baker and Bala, not too big, 6 feet and 5'11". They also add a netminder in Brandon Milberg. 3 games played for D1 Sacred Heart. A .863 save percentage, not great last season. Probably looking to bounce back. I think he's a little bit more of protection for the starting netminder in Cal Shell.
Yeah, and Coach Gosick, like I mentioned, great recruiting class coming in. A lot of guys who have a lot of experience playing a lot of hockey in their career. Milberg really stands out as a guy who Oswego, Cal Shell had a great freshman year, but just to have a guy in that back end to come in, maybe Cal Shell's not having his best of a day, bring someone in who played high Division I level hockey.
Yep, definitely.
Moving from men's to women's, where Mark Digby will be welcoming 6 new Lakers into the recruiting class of 2023. The class consists of 6 total players, including 3 defensemen, 2 forwards, and 1 goaltender. So, Zach, there's definitely a lot to talk about in this class, as well as the squad as a whole, when it comes to recruits coming in and graduates leaving.
Yeah, and we look at this women's hockey recruiting class. We'll start off at the top with Erica Parenti, 24 points in 25 games in the USHS last season. A great goal scorer herself. Megan Buxton, 3 years at Nichols in D3, 13 goals in 25 games in 21-22. Only 6 last year, looking to bounce back this season. Helen Van Dam, a really versatile defenseman. Leah Coley, 8 assists in the OWHL last season, a solid playmaker at the point. Tilly Petrick, the Lakers really excited about her coming in. Played for Australia at the World Cup and the World Junior Cup a couple of years ago. And then another netminder, Hannah Skavnak, didn't play for Post University in D1, did not play a game for them. No goals against, though, in 6 games in the USHS in 2020-2021.
And I mean, for a team who lost players like Amanda Zenstein or Ariel Haas, who led the team in points, a lot of great players coming in. you mentioned Tilly Petrick. You got to be happy if you're coach to get someone coming in who played high level on their national team. And you mentioned defensively, Helen Van Dam, 51 games right down the road for Syracuse Valley Eagles, so an easy recruit there for coach. And this team all together, a lot of young guys, a lot of young girls coming in, a couple 19-year-olds, a couple 18 years old. A lot of young players that can build off playing this year for Oswego.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. And Mark Digby had a solid recruiting class. Obviously, you mentioned a lot of the losses from last season. Trying to bounce back, and it was a little bit disappointing last year. They had a great run the season before, lost in the semifinal of the new HL semifinal to Cortland. Trying to bounce back after last year's a little bit of disappointment, a really solid recruiting class in the end. But that'll do it for the Wheelhouse Wire, but we're not done yet. After the break, it's time for our first Laker Showdown. You're watching Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty.
The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back to Laker Connections. I'm your moderator, Matt Sharamita, not Tommy Talarino, and it's now time for everyone's favorite segment, Laker Showdown. For those of you that don't know how the rules work, it's pretty simple. Ryan and Zach will have around 30 seconds each to answer 3 questions that I ask. Let's get started. Today is National Green Tie Day. I don't think it's actually National Green Tie Day, so we're going to let Zach go first.
Wow. What rules are we breaking here? Are you kidding me? I can't
National
start
Green
off.
Tie Day.
All right.
Lakers volleyball team just faced a sweep against the Mustangs of SUNY Morrisville. The loss brings their record to an undesirable 3-10. What do you guys think that they could do to turn things around going into the second half of the season?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, Matt. I don't know if there's a turnaround coming, though. I hate to say it. I'll be the bad guy for today. They're 0-5 at home this season. 4 of the last 6 games for the Lakers after this weekend against Plattsburgh and Potsdam are on their home floor at Max Hill Gymnasium. I hate to be that guy, but last year they were tremendous to start, and then as good as they were, they went into SUNYAC play, and there was a drop-off. It was very difficult to grab wins in conference. I do not think they're grabbing wins in conference right now with this struggling team.
Interesting take. I'm going to disagree with that one. I think Oswego is going to turn it around. A team who, in this coming up game, 7-3 against them in the last 10, they're going to figure it out. They have a lot of senior leaders. Trefiller, you mentioned Kaylee Troy, Grace Taylor, a lot of names I can name who are leaders, going to turn it around. A lot of teams we've seen in history, Oswego sports, professional sports, turn it around after a harsh start. And I think Oswego, women's volleyball team, is going to figure it out and get over that 500 mark for the season.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll say, Ryan, they lost a ton of key players, and Toby Renz is not there anymore.
Yeah, Toby Renz, whatever.
I was kind of with you for a second. I think they could, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. I'm going to go with Zach for the question, for question number 1.
Okay. Oh, whatever you say.
But we got a lot of game left to play, fellas. Next question. Women's soccer has played solid this year, 4-2-4 record thus far, with a well-rounded team full of talent. Who is sticking out to you guys as the potential MVP of the team? Ryan, you kick this one off.
Well, I think a lot of people would say Katie Del Grosso is their MVP this season. I'm going to disagree with that one. I think Perry Anderson is the leader of this team. Perry Anderson, during the game yesterday, yelling out calls from the goalie net, being the leader for the Oswego team, trying to figure it out. Perry Anderson, we'll throw some stats out there, Zach. 73% save percentage. Hasn't had a game of more than 2 goals this year. That's a pretty good, if you don't score goals, if you don't let up goals, you might win games. I'll say that. 4 shutouts this year so far, and third in the SUNYAC with a .62 percentage goals against average. That's pretty good, Zach, and I think it all starts with the leader, the captain on the field, Perry Anderson for Oswego.
That's fair. That's a good answer. I'll definitely give it to you. I think I'm going in the midfield, and I'm going with Amber McDermott, a rock-solid midfielder for the Lakers right now. I could pick the goal scorers in Brianna Winkler and Katie Del Grosso, but Amber McDermott has played the full 90 in every single game except for 2 of them. A ton of shots on goal each game for Amber McDermott. She does not jump out on the stat sheet, guys, but a really crucial player in the middle of the park for the Lakers.
I absolutely agree with you, but I think this Oswego record is kind of due to that defense, so I have to give it to Joyce with this one.
She's the captain of the field. She leads the team.
That's fair. That's fair.
Can't disagree against that.
Yeah, I don't have an argument. Sorry.
It was a great pick by Joyce. A great pick by you as well. This is a little bit better. We got one more question left. Down to the wire, 1-1, just how we like it. Let's get into the last question. Hockey season is officially around the corner with the first game set for next Saturday. The Lakers are coming for revenge after losing in the SUNYAC championships last season. I know that it's early, but do you guys think that they can make a run for their first trophy since last being crowned SUNYAC champions in 2014?
Who's going first?
You're going first.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to be the bad guy today. I was a bad guy against volleyball. I'm a bad guy against men's hockey right now. I'm confident they can make it back to the championship game. However, we're forgetting that Geneseo is still a hockey program that's really, really good and may have had just a little bit of a blip last year. Obviously, Plattsburgh won it all in the end. It was a tough opponent for the Lakers. A lot of seniors out the door for them, though. That's a lot of experience gone. Geneseo, if you don't think they're coming in fighting after last year's blip, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. This is for Coach Ed Gosick. This is the year. We are winning this year. SUNYAC, we're winning the whole thing. 2014 has been way too long. This is the year. Returned 3 of their 5 top goal scorers from last year. Bull, Cal Bufo, Sleeth. They're getting back to the tourney, getting back to SUNYAC. They're going to win the chip. Cal Shell, the best goalie in the SUNYAC, going to come and have a great year here for Oswego. And Zach, I'm going to counterpoint. You can't mention all these guys coming in for Oswego, 2 Division I transfers, not going to make an impact and not win the entire SUNYAC. You can't say that.
No, but when you're looking at that, wait a second. There's a lot of experience already. A lot of returners for the Lakers. They brought in some new players, but you don't think Geneseo brought in some new players? A rock-solid hockey program. They're bringing in guys every single year from the top level. I think Geneseo clearly is the team to beat heading into this year, especially with the chip on their shoulder after last season's blip. Like I said, if they didn't run into Plattsburgh in the semis, Geneseo, they might have been cheering on our home ice at the Dev after last year.
I think this Oswego team's hungry. I think they're ready to go. Last year was a tough loss. Could have had that one in the Dev last year in a big game. And for Oswego, a lot of teams, Zach, don't have the recruiting guru, John Whitelaw. Not many teams have John Whitelaw and Ed Gosick there as recruiting players. So this is the year. Oswego, mark it down in the record books. This is their year.
That's a phenomenal point. And I can't be with you on the bad guy role tonight. I'm gonna have to give Ryan a win. Good guys gotta win sometimes, Zach.
Fair enough. But that'll do it for Laker Showdown. And thanks for tuning in to Laker Connections. Ryan Joyce, Matt Sharamita, and Zach Malamud. We'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks.